Welcome, Obi. It's so great to see you. Thank you for your time. It's great always to have a conversation with the head of school. And today we'll talk about Kazakhstan International School. It happens so that I've been a witness of how KS started, where it started, and it's a really great history there. But could you tell our audience what is the story behind it?
Thanks, Julie. It's great to be here. KIS has an amazing story. It started, the journey probably started in 1993 when our founder moved to Kazakhstan. And he developed a very successful business here. And he's a man of great vision, but I would say that he would argue, school wasn't a great experience for him. And his school had a very narrow view of what learning was. And so he came up with this idea of a school that was more than academics. And 5 years on, he was able to open KIS. And the school has been growing ever since. And there are people who said, that it was a crazy venture. There were times where he had absolutely, no money, and he was, paying the teachers out of his own pocket. But he believed in this vision. He believed in this idea of creating a school or a community, really, where people can excel in both learning and in life. And so the motto of more than academics has been the foundation of KIS since we opened our doors.
Obi, we talked about growing and developing the school. What does it really mean, growing and developing? Where are you heading? Where you are and where you're heading?
Great. Well, we started off as a Montessori kindergarten. And, in our early years campus, we have two campuses. Our early years campus still holds on to those Montessori values through our early years program, which is very much aligned with the primary years program of the IB. Throughout the main campus, we have a state-of-the-art building with, beautiful big classrooms, modern technology in every room, and we're filling up. We are actually from grade 1 through grade 6. There are no places left. There's the high school, the secondary school from grade 7, 8, and 10 and 11. There's a few places left. There's about 80 places left in the school. We're going to have capacity for 600 kids. This tiny school that started off with 10 kids in 1993 has now grown to a 2-campus, state-of-the-art facility right here in Kazakhstan with very few places left.
You need to open another one. Any plans on that?
We discuss it a lot at the board level. I think there's great opportunity here. I think that the IB program is in demand, and I think that we've established ourselves as a world-class IB school. And so we're not happy with that. We're going to continue to grow until we are the most recognized name in the region. But until then, we're going to focus on what we have right now, but we're always going to be thinking about the future. And if a second campus makes sense for us, we'll absolutely open that up to provide more opportunities to more kids.
And maybe other cities in the country.
Absolutely. We know what this program can do. I'm a staunch believer in the IB, and again, if there's places in Kazakhstan that would benefit from a 3-program IB school, I'm sure we would be willing to fill that need.
Great. Kazakhstan is a growing country. That probably one of the very, very few in the world that actually has more younger people than the elderly.
Right.
And we need more and more schools and more kindergartens with a high level of quality education.
Absolutely.
And why do you think parents and staff and students like KIS?
It's a great question. I guess I could talk from my own experience. When I walked in for my interview, there was a feeling about the school. There was just something inviting and something engaging. And there was an environment where you could tell everybody wanted greatness. Everybody wanted to be better. But there was this real tight-knit sense of community So the two things that I walked away with is there's a sense of growth, which is what we do in education. We help people to achieve their dreams. But there was also this connectedness where people felt really secure and really welcome. Every school teaches literacy, math. Every school has an after-school activities program. What differentiated KIS for me was the ethos of more than academics and the feeling of community.
That's great. Let's talk about school values. What values does the school promote? And how is this demonstrated in the school body and overall the school community?
We spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly who we were. And so we realized that there's 2 D's and 2 R's: dignity, diversity, resilience, and relationships. And those are the things that we nurture. So the dignity of others, making sure that people are respected, people are valued, everybody has worth, and we make sure that our students show respect to everybody in the school, from the security guards right up to the teachers. Diversity, we are an eclectic group. There's 40 nationalities represented, so part of our mission is connecting those cultures and making sure that our local students can go off into the world and be successful, or our expat students can come to a place like Kazakhstan and understand how they can contribute to a place here. Resilience, there's going to be setbacks in life, and so we try to make sure that we have a rigorous program and a challenging program. We want our students to experience setbacks and failures, and we want them to overcome those, and we help them to do that. And then the last one is relationships. We want to make sure that our students are good people and that they know the importance of healthy relationships in their lives.
That's great. Obi, and you as a head of school obviously have a vision and also a plan how to grow and develop the school. Could you share a little bit on that?
Well, I think it comes down to our vision statement. Cascading out of more than academics, we are a caring, impactful community that excels in learning and in life. What that means for me is I don't want the kids just to get set up to go to a great university. I'm not that interested in who they are at 18. I'm more interested in who they're going to be when they're 30. And a school outside of the parent, the family unit, a school will have the most influence on that for a young person. So if we live those values, we're going to be able to achieve that vision.
And we talk about a vision, but what is the mission also of the school?
Right. So the mission of the school is what we do every day. And what that is that we are a community that nurtures a growth mindset in students through a holistic education that connects cultures. So there's really 4 parts of that. Number 1 is the community. I think I've talked a lot about that. The growth mindset is the idea that no matter who you are, you can continually be growing. I'm not the head of school that I want to be. I'll never be the head of school that I want to be. I always want to grow. I always want to get better. A holistic education, that means we educate the whole child. Again, that links back to our more than academics. So we want our students to be artists. We want them to be creative. We want them to live our values. And then connecting cultures, again, that's the dignity piece and the diversity piece. That's where we make sure that our students understand that other people with different opinions can be right. And so how do we create an environment where kids can step back and try and understand other people's points of view before broadcasting their own?
This really sounds amazing, especially in the world that we live in right now. And it is so important to have individuals with this kind of vision and mission in life.
Right.
It really will make a difference to the world. Hope you feel that as head of school.
I do, absolutely. I mean, we're helping kids achieve their dreams, but we're also helping them become great people.
That's really, really amazing. Some time ago, the school made a decision to pursue IB Education Authorization, and how that has proven to benefit the students the most, do you think?
That's a great question. I believe in the IB. I think there's 2 parts to it. There's rigor. It is the most challenging academic high school program There is. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But in addition to that, there is an obligation for IB schools to try and make the world a better and safer place. And so there's a clear sense of purpose and something that generates results. And when you put those two things together, I think the IB is a great fit for the ethos of KIS.
Is there anything else that is required to provide education that meets the various needs of an international student body?
But we're also in the process of becoming an MSA accredited school. The reason that that's important is, although the IB looks really closely at your curriculum and what you're teaching and how you're teaching it and your values, the Middle States Association of Colleges and Schools, they're going to come in and they're going to make sure that we are doing all of our, what you might call our fiduciary responsibilities. So our governance, our finances, our health and safety protocols, our child protection protocols, facilities. Are we, just a school that is running just this program, or are we actually, a well-run operational machine that is secure so that we can make sure we can continue to provide these great educational services and all these lofty ideas for a sustainable amount of time?
How do you think that will go?
I think it'll go great.
What makes you think that?
First of all, every school I've been in has been accredited by one of these organizations, and I would highly recommend, if any prospective parent were looking at any international school, I would say, well, who are you accountable to, right? And if you're not accredited with an international organization, and we're accredited with two, we've got the IB piece, we'll have the MSA piece. What quality assurance do parents have knowing that the school is going to be well run? So we actually pay people to come and tell us the things we're not doing well, and so that we can continually improve, which is aligned with our mission of a growth mindset.
This, I think, is extremely valuable advice to any parent who is looking at the school and considering whether they have the proper authorization in both.
Yeah.
This year is a very special year for KIS. You have the first class that graduated with the AIB Diplomas,
yeah.
Right? Can you tell us about what this achievement actually means for KIS and what these students will have accomplished?
We couldn't be more proud of our graduates. One of the things that we talk about in the IB is being risk takers. So these kids came into our school because they were the first cohort to graduate. They knew enough about the IB program to know that it was a gateway to get them to where they wanted to be. And so each one of them left with two pieces of paper in their hands. They have one that says, I've done something that is really challenging, that I'm really proud of. And the other one says, I'm going somewhere I'm really excited to be. Those kids, between them, there was 10 of them. They earned over $2.3 million in scholarships around the world. They got into world-class universities. All of them have a university placement. And we're really, really proud of what they've accomplished, and we were just happy to support them.
What does it require to receive an IB diploma? And apart from getting into great universities, world-class universities, what future opportunities does it open for each one of the students, do you think?
I think that's an excellent question. In my experience, I've worked in all three of the main international curricula. There's the American curriculum. The American curriculum is focused on choice, right? And so you can take your advanced placement classes, you can take one of them, you can take none of them, you can take 6 of them. So there's a lot of freedom within the American system. In the British system, it's narrow, but it's very deep in terms of what it does for kids. Kids at the age of 16 will generally choose 3 subjects of study, and they will pursue those rigorously. And then there's the IB, which is about depth and breadth at the same time. So you have to take 6 subjects, 3 of them at the higher level, but you also have to write a 4,000-word essay. But you also have to commit to what we call creativity, activity, and service. And what that means is you have to go out and engage in some artistic pursuits. You have to be active as a human being, so you've got to take care of your health, and you've got to participate perhaps on sports teams or on walks, and then you also have to commit to a service learning endeavor. So all three programs are great. They're all going to get you into university, and they can all get you into a world-class university. But in terms of that holistic education, the IB program, in my mind, is the best because it has a social human component to it that a lot of great American and British schools also have, but it's not mandated. They don't have to. We have to. And so there's no opting out. It's, if you're coming to this school, you're going to engage in the world.
That's really great to hear, and is really inspiring. Obi, could you tell us where do you think these students with IB diploma that just have graduated will end up? In what universities, and what future holds for them, do you think?
Absolutely. We had a number of students get into Russell Group universities in the UK. Outside of Oxbridge, they're the top 10, 15 universities. So universities like Warwick, universities like Manchester, Queen Mary University, some fantastic schools in the UK. We had students accepted to top tier universities in the United States. University of Southern California, we had the University of Notre Dame, and we had students accepted to schools in Hong Kong, in Holland, Australia, all around the world. So really, really great opportunities. So those 10 kids are going to branch out, and they're going to make the world a better place.
Do we already know who will they be? Doctors, teachers, any indications?
Yeah, I mean, lawyers, artists, business people, economists. There's no shortage of possibilities with these kids.
Absolutely amazing young and bright talents there, and congratulations with this great achievement, and I'm sure the school and everybody who is involved are very, very proud of this achievement. Obi, you've been here for a couple of years already in Kazakhstan, and your experience in education, you've been in different schools, as you said, in different systems and in different countries. It would be really great to hear your opinion on Kazakhstan, on what is your take on education, and maybe on opportunities, challenges, and future that Kazakhstan has. It's a huge question.
It is a huge question. It's a great question, though. Look, I've been an educator in Hong Kong, in Australia, in the UK, in Dubai, and in Canada. Kazakhstan it's a blank canvas, but it's also a growing place. There's an energy here that I found really exciting, and yet there's a lot of schools, maybe even new schools, that are really trying to hold on to traditional values. I sometimes say, a lot of schools are pretending to be 100 years old. Well, and I think there's an opportunity for Kazakhstan to, in this burgeoning economy, in this bustling city, to really move, into a contemporary place. And so, we're the first 3-program English language IB school in Kazakhstan. And so I know that it's not necessarily unique anywhere else. There's 18 schools like that in Dubai. There's probably 20 in Singapore, but here there's one. And so I have found it to be a very exciting place, a challenging place, but also one with a beautiful culture and a lot of reason for optimism.
And the school community consists of international community, and there is a big number of local kids that go to IB.
Yeah.
How do you think these students might have influence on the changes to make Kazakhstan a new Kazakhstan?
That's a great question. First of all, we've got a sort of 60-40 split. So we have 40% expat families, 60% local families. So that value of diversity is going to help both groups of people understand a different cultural lens. And I think, you're not going to become the country of the future by focusing on the practices of the past. There need to be new pathways for young people in Kazakhstan. Yet, it's really important to maintain the cultural and social fabric that makes Kazakhstan unique. So we have to embrace and value those wonderful traditions, and at the same time, educate our kids to be forward-thinking so that they can broaden the scope of what it means to be a young person in Kazakhstan and create opportunities for themselves, or take a look at existing systems and find ways to improve them.
So the change really starts back in '93 when the owner came and had a vision of doing a school. It's a long way that it took, but it's an amazing achievement and a huge contribution to the future of Kazakhstan, I may say.
I think so. I mean, I'm not sure if this building was here in 1993, but this one was. But I know that many others weren't, and the city continues to expand, the country continues to expand, and it really is a place that's growing and changing, and we're proud to be on a contributor to that.
Thank you so much, Obi, and thank you for being in Kazakhstan, bringing your international expertise, bringing your professionalism, bringing your passion to educate kids, and taking it to a higher level. What you said, I will never be the head of the school that I want to be. I will always be growing. I will always trying to achieve bigger and deeper and more of a knowledge of experience. And thank you for being generous and sharing it with the students here, with the teachers, and with the families overall, and making this community a better place. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.